Today's episode is brought to you by Munchie Mug, the world's #1 premium no-spill snack cup. Listen to today's episode for a special offer from Munchie Mug. Munchie Mug, making your life less messy. Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian, the host of the aforementioned podcast, and alongside me on the due south wall of our state-of-the-art recording studio / our bedroom is my lovely wife, my co-host, my CFO, my muse, my inspiration, my love. You're not my muse, but I do like you a lot. No one has, I don't have, what?
Now I'm mad.
Now you're mad. Is Melissa Nickerson, everybody. I don't have a muse. What is this? The Renaissance?
Greco-Roman?
Yeah, art era. A muse. I don't know where this magic...
Shakespeare uses that a lot.
I don't know where this magic comes from, baby. Anyways.
I'm both offended and will receive those compliments.
Well, welcome to our little podcast that could. Backseaters, welcome back. It is so nice to hear from you or be with you in your car, in your gym, as you vacuum.
That's
as
right.
you vacuum your car. As you vacuum your car before you go to the gym. Either way, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you.
Maybe you're getting one of those Starbucks red cups.
Yeah. Maybe. You do. Are the red cups here?
They're back.
Oh my gosh. Is it the time of year where people are going to get upset about Starbucks?
Cups.
Is that a thing anymore?
I mean,
do people still get upset about Starbucks holidays habits?
I think that, like Disney, people have accepted Starbucks for who they are.
Yeah, I suppose that's...
I think the fight is over.
Yeah.
People are also just like setting up for Christmas now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very funny that people got really mad when they didn't say Christmas on the cups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, the CEO is Jewish?
Schultz.
Did you know that about him? What does that man owe to you as far as celebrating your holiday goes? Because that was a big thing when people are like, it says Happy Holidays on it. He doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Right.
I mean, I don't know Howard Schultz's personal life. I know that he's Jewish. Maybe he's married to someone who celebrates it. But the point being, who cares? Just go get your burnt coffee. And you know what we're on right now on the Starbs is the iced teas, and we've reached iced tea era of our life.
Yes.
That's a grown-up thing.
Mm-hmm.
You, for a second, they were like, oh, look at these, what do they call the little teas that you can buy at a gas station, in the bottle, the leaf things or something?
Sometimes I will just buy unsweetened tea.
Yeah.
In the gas station.
And that's fine. But if you get the sweetened ones, it's 95% of your sugar for the day. And you're like, wow, you made that tea unhealthy pretty fast.
That's like all beverages.
Yeah.
They just get really sugary.
So sweet. Yeah, Joel last night. So Joel went and did a gig with me, and we were driving back, and I was like, all right, Joel, it's been kind of a fast foody day, and the streak continues because this is what you do on gigs like this, Joel. Because we'll do weekend recap here in a second, but bad story long of it is I flew in 5:30. We went and picked up some kids. I flew in from would have been 5:30 a.m. our time to DC to here. Came home. We went and got some food. I had some ridiculous things that I gave to everybody. And then I took a nap, and then Joel went with me to go do a private gig in Rancho Cucamonga last night, which I'll talk about that in a bit. On the way home, I was like, well, Joel, this is what it's like out here as you do a gas station dinner. That's what's open right now because it's late. Right. Everything is closed.
Unless the gig gives you a to-go meal.
Which sometimes I request, but I forgot to this time. And
mostly you're just eating at a gas station.
So he's like, well, what should I get? I was like, they'll have something, Joel. They'll have a sandwich. They'll have a thing. You'll figure something out. And I was like, you can get a bev, a snack, and I go get a side, get an entree, get a bev. And I turn around, and he's gotten a 20-ounce Slurpee. And
I saw all of it in the car this morning.
And I was like, you cannot have that. You cannot. You can't handle. If you have half a soda, you're bouncing off the van walls.
Yeah,
as you know. And I was like, you can't drink all that. And he's like, well, I kind of regret getting it now anyways. I should have just got a Sprite. I was like, well, you can't do that. He's like, I should just dump it out. I was like, you can't just dump it out. You can't. I go, and I made him dump half of it out and we paid for the full amount and then dump half of it out. And it was a little lesson in,
it happens.
You really, when you do
it's
a
hard.
Gas station dinner, you got to do several loops. Don't Don't let an impulse control you. You got to look, what do I want? What am I feeling? What's going to get me through? I had I wasn't that hungry. I had RX bar and some Smart Pop, all of which is trash in the car right now. I think you saw that.
I saw it all. Yeah, but the green tea iced tea at Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing. It's like 90 calories.
Yeah.
Like you get a Trenta. It's 90 calories.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that'll give you a Trent on. Yeah.
Now,
and a little bit of caffeine.
Green tea at home for like 5 cents. Yes.
Yeah.
Is half of that ice. Yes.
Yes.
But if
are
you're
we rich?
out,
Are we loaded? Take that, Ramsey.
If you're out and you need a bev, but you have had a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we actually drink the majority of our caffeine at home, like 95% of our caffeine at home.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're out and about on the town, in the village,
yep,
making deals,
wheeling and dealing,
commerce, trade, our, merchant sales, whatever it may be, traveling from port to port, shaking hands, signing papers,
yeah, invoicing,
throw cash deals, card deals, Square Reader,
Venmo,
old school. I don't have my Square Reader. I do the credit card reader from the 80s. Yeah, that was a gun. I meant to do a different one.
Writing checks.
Yeah, it's like the MIA song. All I want to do is bing, bing. That's my life. That's my life. Every day. And you just need a little pick-me-up. Boom. That's a nice one.
It's the perfect bev.
It's the perfect bev.
Yeah.
And they don't, and you can't get a red, and then you avoid the controversy altogether because the clear cups are never red.
Included.
They don't hand you just the red plastic cup like we're at a kegger.
I say that if you're going to get one of the Starbucks, like, what is it? A mocha, what is it? Peppermint mocha. That's
Peppermint
like
mocha.
their signature.
Yeah.
You might as well just eat a candy bar and have a black cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like one, you'll save yourself like $7.
And a lot of calories. The candy bar's probably less calories than that peppermint mocha.
Like that's what you're eating or drinking.
100%.
So you just have to decide how you want to have that.
This might be the first year I don't have a peppermint mocha or hot chocolate of any type because I can't.
What about an oat milk?
You could.
Holidays without dairy.
Yeah.
Dustin's 38.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. It also doesn't sound good to me. It doesn't.
I know. Well, I do think we will look at Christmas lights. That usually will get cocoa.
Yeah.
You know what?
And
actually,
I'll have coffee with a little something in it. That's, I don't need I'm a grown up. I don't need if I'm going to walk around, if there's any, people who enforce laws of any type, this is not true at all. But if it's Halloween or I'm walking around looking at Christmas lights, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Is there something else in that coffee? Maybe.
Right.
But that's what I want. I don't,
yeah.
I'm a grown man. I'm not going to drink a peppermint mocha. What am I, 11? What am I, a 25-year-old Dustin? Who's like, there's no calories in this. This is a coffee drink.
What's a calorie?
Yeah.
You know what's really good, though? You got this somewhere on the road. It's like this cocoa nibs. So it's just like dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
And they like shave the cocoa. And it's like 200 calories.
There you go.
Like it's like a fancy grown-up hot chocolate.
And it was good? You drank it with water or did you heat up milk?
I did oat milk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's more than...
It just...
that doesn't even sound good to you?
It just ruined... Well, I mean...
I like chocolate. That's why...
Yeah.
That's why, like, there are specific times that I'm like, chocolate.
It's also 9 in the morning right now. And I had a brutal road weekend. Yeah. And my head and my stomach are...
Do you want an oat milk cocoa latte?
Hard to sound... It's hard to imagine anything worse than that. What I want is a banana. Is what I want.
Smoothie. Yeah. Maybe a green tea.
Are you cold?
I can't decide.
You've been so it got a little colder here in San Diego, and let me tell you, Mel has some parts of Melissa have changed in her adult life. For example, Melissa is scared of heights now. Yeah, that's new. Mm-hmm. Also, Melissa is way more dramatic about the cold than she used to be.
Yeah,
you used to not care about the cold at all. You would be like, just put some sweats on, everybody. And it got a little colder in San Diego. And you have been the biggest baby about it.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this is multifaceted.
Yeah, the way that you were sitting, it's not. It's 70 degrees in our home, Melissa.
Okay, maybe I'm just having fun with this open flannel, and I'm pulling it.
Yeah.
I sleep with so many clothes on.
Right.
And I used to laugh at my sister. My sister used to wear socks to bed. And I thought that was so ridiculous. Yeah. And then like 2 years ago, I started wearing socks to bed.
To me, that's the behavior of a psychopath. Socks in bed is the crazy.
Not during the winter, I wear socks to bed. I sleep in socks.
So uncomfortable. Part of the reason, I mean, it's a well-known Dustin Nickerson bit. I've done it on TV about how we use different blankets, but our sleep could not be more different.
No.
I have a new bit about it, about how, I have dreams and you don't. But also just down to like, you have layered. You look like the little brother in Christmas Story.
Yes.
Going to bed.
Yeah. And I don't have a lot of drawer space. So.
All right.
Okay.
See, why do you always have to do it? You have a full-size dresser.
No, I don't.
Maybe it's that you just have a lot of clothes. Maybe that's the answer.
I have a pajama drawer.
Oh my gosh.
And that's fine.
How does the other half live? What a suffering.
Gosh.
That is the most first world problem you have ever said publicly. I don't have a pajama drawer.
Listen. Children, I'm not giving you this. Children have pajamas, okay? They have like 10 pairs of pajamas. Perhaps because they're messy and they constantly get washed.
They wear pajamas every bedtime.
Now, do adults have pajamas?
No.
Okay, but there are women.
Some do. I can't make
women.
Yeah.
There are specific women that like pajamas.
Yeah, no,
and you wear them a lot.
Obviously, adults wear pajamas because it's a whole line of clothes.
Yeah, but that is just something that we, give it athleisure wear, give it like just your old shirts that,
Yeah.
Like, we don't buy pajamas for ourselves.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
I bought you 2 pairs of them pretty recently.
Those are sweats.
You sleep in them. Is not the definition of a pajama an item you sleep in?
No, but you could wear them all day.
But they're still pajamas.
No, if you go online,
you sleep in them.
They're sweats.
You sleep in them. All right, we got a new AirPod debate. Don't make me come back there at gmail.com. I need husbands, wives, spouses, partners, everybody chiming in on this because if you sleep in it, it is pajamas. That we bought that in a pajama area.
If you go on an online website, it's going to say sweats. Okay, that's my point. Okay, like people have like robes, sets, pajama sets are having a moment.
Sleepwear.
Yeah. And I buy them for Gloria, but I don't buy them for myself.
Okay, so I agree that sweats are a different thing, but I think that like it's hard to define a pajama because first off, I sleep in underwear. That's why and when we're staying in hotels, even less than underwear. That's comfortable to me. So we're very different in that regards.
Right.
Not by myself, by the way. I'm not a psychopath. I don't sleep naked in a hotel room by myself. That would be the strangest behavior I could imagine. People will sleep in basketball shorts like I'm wearing right now, or I have sweatpants that I guess people could technically sleep in. They could sweep in them too. They could sleep or sweep.
Yep.
Where does the line? When does it turn into a pajama?
Ready?
When it's silk? When it's
middle-aged women will say things like, buy yourself pajamas so that it's time to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Not work out or lounge or work.
The idea that you have loungewear that you would then get out of loungewear to put in bedwear is pretty silly.
I know.
Pretty silly.
I know.
And that would be the thing that tells your brain, it's time to go to bed.
I know. I mean, I literally sleep in your flannels.
Right.
Like your flannel shirts.
Right. And you don't have a drawer to put all these pajamas in.
I don't.
You poor thing.
Oh, it's so hard. Okay, I want you to acknowledge. I'm going to acknowledge.
Okay.
When it gets cold, it's a lot of work for the caregiver who clothes the family.
Sure, because the way that it happens in San Diego is it gets very suddenly cold that you're like, oh my gosh. And the children have not been cold in a year.
One night it's 40 degrees.
Yeah. And I know for the rest of the world, okay, hold on, let me say, I know for the rest of the world, you're like, that's not cold. I understand that that's not your version of cold, but 40 degrees is cold in any situation. Like you're not. It's
almost freezing.
Yeah, 40 degrees is not, I know it's not negative 20 Minneapolis in January. I know it's not whatever. I know it's not the wind coming off of a Great Lake in Chicago. I get it.
It's not vertical.
But it is cold enough
snow
that you notice that it's cold. And if your kids have not been cold in a year, then there's like I understand.
Well,
I acknowledge this.
We wear shorts over Halloween.
Right.
You can wear sandals.
Right.
And then suddenly, when the sun's down, it's 40 degrees.
Right.
And so we're just ill-prepared, and we're also just fair weather.
So do you feel it more with the kids or yourself? Because are you feeling like you need new stuff, or you have
everyone?
Everyone.
I have like 4
But your
people.
size hasn't changed.
Oh, you're dead.
No, I'm being genuine there. I'm not trying to make a joke there. I
have like jeans that I can't wear the whole month. At times in the month, they don't fit.
What?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Because women...
Because you're bloated?
Women get bloated monthly. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Explain. No, I'm just kidding.
And because
that would be amazing.
High waist
just you had to explain to me the menstrual cycle.
Yeah, high waist jeans.
But sweats you don't need to change once. The point of sweats is the elastic. That's always there for you.
However, like women's clothes are fitted so much.
Not the sweats.
What about yoga pants?
Yeah, that's different though. That's out and about wear.
Are you ready? I got my size in a pair of Old Navy sweats. I got Gloria a pair, and I got myself a pair. They're so high-waisted that my regular size is too tight. I was like, I couldn't actually sleep in this. And they were elastic, but they were just too high and too tight.
Listen, so, as you'll see in the new hour and that's coming out soon, very publicly I've talked about the struggles of women's fashion. I know that. I'm not trying to diminish that in any way whatsoever.
Yeah. No, it's just...
I just think that the line between... I guess that's the comment. That's the conclusion of this matter, is the line between what you would wear in public and you would wear to bed has never been a grayer line, and somewhere in between there is loungewear. And every once in a while you find a thing that's all three. You have a thing that you're like, I'll sleep in this, I'll wear this out, and I'll wear this to the grocery store, and I'll wear this around the house. But I agree with you that you shouldn't sleep in whatever you are wearing out and about. That doesn't seem... Yoga pants, you don't sleep in yoga pants, right?
No, I don't. No.
Some people do?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever outfit there is, someone's sleeping in it.
Mm-hmm. It's just when everybody grows, like the kids, and then your dad's about to show up. And that's like...
And he's getting greeted by a broken heater and rain. Welcome down to San Diego.
That's like kind of our last storage space. You know what I mean? So
yeah, when Dawn's gone.
So I have like 5 trash bags that I'm donating because the clothes and the stuff. Yeah.
I guess what it feels like, and am I reading this right, is when I give you a hard time about being cold, the cold is a triggering thing because you're like, oh, I have a lot of work to do. Because I have to...
It's like work I forget about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we really worked through that. Yeah, no, we came to a mutual place of understanding.
And
whereas also, I feel like when you are being dramatic about the clothes, not dramatic about the clothes, when you were like, we need this, I get like, oh, we have money, and is Melissa not? Am I not providing the things that she needs? And then I start to feel a little insecure, or also like a little money stressed, and also like, oh, is Melissa getting a little materialistic as our careers getting a little better here? And also, is it ever going to be enough storage space? You know, is it ever going to be a big enough dresser? I don't think so.
No, but but I tell this to Gloria all the time, like, because she wants her own room and she's 13 and she shares with her 8-year-old sister, and I'm like, we live in San Diego,
right, sweetie.
This is the cost benefit analysis. Like, we don't have walk-in closets, et cetera, et cetera. You're like, we just gotta make it work because 40 degrees is cold.
And I go, this is the nicest house I've ever lived in. and you guys got it so good. That is a fundamental difference, I think, between how part of the way that you and I see the world. I think that you naturally compare yourself when it comes to homes and money.
Yeah.
You look up. Not that you want it, but I feel like you are quick to identify like, well, we're not the rich families. We don't have the things that rich people have.
What I meant by the San Diego and Gloria, like my statement that I tell her is like, if we wanted a walk-in closet, we would have to go like way east. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
well, we've always talked about.
If you want to live on the coast in a big city.
Well, we've always talked about the Salem, Oregon thing. That there was a crossroads in our life where I had an opportunity to go make a decent amount of money if I took a job managing the rec center in Salem, Oregon. We just look back on that and you're like, oh, I mean, that would have. Now I think Salem's pretty pricey now.
No, our friends moved to Springfield, Oregon. And they got like a 4-bed, 2-bath. Right. And they're renting still because, you know, life is hard and they're in that millennial category, but not that hard. You know, they've got a 4-bed, 2-bath rental. So now they have all the space. Right. That's if you're
people know the economy. You can buy a house in different parts of the world.
So it's like you get the space or you get the city or
but do you get what I say? Or maybe you don't want to talk about that publicly. And if so, that's fine. But I do catch that sentiment from you sometimes.
No, I think you're reading into that.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's just work that I did. And I was like, look at Grandpa's room. It looks so good. And you're like, yeah, it looks the same. And I was like, but look at the 5 bags in my car. Like
that I didn't know. That was a miracle.
That's like weight.
Right.
That is so hard for me to do that. Right. But then it's so, and that's when I was like, the girls need new dressers. Right. Joel needs a new bed. Because that's like, once you start working on your house, then you're like, now we need this.
Well, the house is it's kind of like your body in that way. You're like, well, this is an endless project.
Absolutely. You're like, I fixed one thing and the other thing broke. Well, also, the kids grow and they just need more storage for their clothes. Their clothes are bigger.
Yeah.
You know? When they were little, just like throw everything in a couple drawers.
Right. And a few munchie mugs.
Hey! I just needed to get this out. Anyway.
No, that's good. I'm glad to. No, I'm really actually. So a lot of times we record on Tuesdays. Yeah. And so Mel and I have a day to kind of connect and reset before we do it publicly. But this week, everybody, you're getting it. It's
fresh.
I've been home for 22 hours, but we haven't spent that time together because I got home and I went and did a gig. So we've spent some time together, but we haven't started processing yet. We're gonna go on a hike after this, and then we'll process that on that hike. But you know, I'm glad that you told me about that. Because I didn't understand that. Because you told me like, hey, I look at the room and I didn't notice it any different. It looked the same as when I left. But that's because what you had done is emptied out the closet, and that's a feet. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. That is. Yeah. I love getting rid of stuff too. When you get rid of.
You are so much better at getting rid of stuff than me. I hold it onto it a lot longer.
Yeah, with the exception of the dinosaur, which is now in the book, which you just trashed because we both. Yes and no on that because
the sentiment.
Yeah, it is easier for you to get. It's easier for me to get rid of stuff in general. It's harder for me to get rid of sentimental stuff, which is why I don't like getting rid of stuffed animals. And you would throw those all in the trash. You would if you had your way.
I'm ready to get rid of half the stuffed animals.
No, if you had your way, you would look at Claire and go, "Which one's your favorite? The rest go."
Yeah.
You don't, but I'm like, "Oh, that's little kid stuff," you know. If you guys aren't familiar with Munchie Mug, I started the sponsor a minute and a half ago. Munchie Mugs are a long-time sponsor here of the pod. We love Munchie Mug. Munchie Mug, if you're not familiar, is the best spill-proof cup on the market. Whatever you got in your life, snacks, mostly snacks. It's snack cup.
So many snacks.
Little kid snacks. Maybe you're an adult. Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, Oops All Berry Cheerios, all the Cheerios. And you don't want to spill those. You're going to want to get yourself a Munchie Mug. It is a delightful product. It comes in a variety of colors. It's got a nice soft sensory experience lid. It's dishwasher safe. It's right here in the USA. And if you go to munchiemug.com and use promo code Don't Make Me, that's all one word, no apostrophe, Don't Make Me, you're going to get 25% off your entire order. Munchiemug.com, one word, Don't Make Me, 25% off your entire order. Munchie Mug.
Making your life less messy.
Boom, 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 boom. We got that one. That was smooth.
You just flew through it. Well done.
We've been flying through this episode. We're at a half an hour already.
I know.
And we haven't done
haven't talked about your weekend.
Yeah.
We also have a Patreon Zoom hang coming up.
When? This Sunday?
Yes.
This coming Sunday.
November 13th is our next Patreon only Zoom hang. And you guys, you've got what? You've got 3 weeks to get in on our Patreon.
3 weeks.
To get the Nickerson Christmas
If you guys want
card.
the Nickerson Christmas card, of which we are meeting with, what will we...
Photographer,
art director today on a few different projects.
That's right.
3. Special stuff, Christmas card, shirt. Those are the bang, bang, bang. Those are the 3 things we want to discuss today.
Shirt. All right. Good stuff.
Peter's so good. Oh, he's so good. I love him so much. And he's a good friend. I want to talk about adult friends here in just a second, but because we both are working on fostering 2 new adult friendships in our life, and I'm really excited about that. Because it's a big step. Also, just a couple upcoming headline dates. There's a lot more coming down the pipeline, but right now, what we have on sale, January 6th and 7th in St. Louis, Missouri. That's not a huge room, by the way. That's the side room, and so buy tickets earlier than later on that, especially because I'm going to do a play in St. Louis with Tay between then and now, and that makes me think that those are going to sell out. So if you're in St. Louis, I would buy those sooner than later. And then February 8th, Comedy Works, Denver, Colorado.
Coming back to Denver.
Coming back to Denver. Can't wait. Love Denver. Love Denver. We'll go to Denver and, we'll go. It'll be probably cold, but not unbearably cold. Probably see some of your family who lives in Denver. Love the Denver folk. Love them so much.
Yeah.
Maybe Russell Wilson will come out. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, I haven't said anything negative about you publicly at all.
I was like, I don't think he's going to come out.
I would. No. Well, you never know.
No, I just mean... You make a lot of jokes.
Yeah. I don't.
But unless he watches your Instagram stories.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
wouldn't know.
Russell Wilson knows that I'm alive, nor should he. I have thought about that before because there's like various athletes that I tease and make fun of and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Gary Shandling, one of maybe our combined favorite comedian actor ever, is when he did this old show called The Green Room. He talked about hosting an award show, and he goes, you do these things very publicly and you make fun of your celebrities, and he goes, and then you reach a certain level of celebrity where you meet these people, and it's very different. They're like, he remembered an Oscars because he used to host all those award shows, and he like made fun of Jack Nicholson, and he goes, and then later that night there's an apology. And I've thought about that before. You go like, you do like level up at a certain point. Like when Tay came out with her last special, she was like, I have Taylor Swift jokes. This is going on Netflix. And I was like, yeah, that is an interesting thing. It's not like the president or something. Like making fun of the president is like one thing, but talking about other entertainers and popular culture stars, you're like, whoa. What are we doing here?
I know.
It's interesting. Not a problem I have. We have not reached that level, but hopefully one day we do, and it'll be interesting to see if people like lose their edge. Anyways, I had a couple things that I wanted.
Makes me think.
Really makes you think, Melissa. I had a couple things that I wanted to read. Where did that go? Oh no, I had a podcast review that I was
some
so
windows
excited.
Open.
What? There we go.
You got a lot going on here.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. I wanted to, for those of you who have left podcast reviews and book reviews as well, that is all so helpful. That's what tells people that this is a good podcast. As they find it, they go, how many ratings does this have? We all do that. You go to a restaurant, you see 2 ratings, you go, no. You go to a restaurant, you see 1,000 ratings, great. We are at 811 ratings here on our podcast. I would love to hit 1,000. I would love to set, so if you guys could keep rating, that would be fantastic.
And it doesn't have to be funny. Just say something.
It can just be 5 stars, or you could say something, or you could do this one right here, 5 stars. This is from Dope Suburban Mama.
She's dope.
Hilarious and relatable. 5 stars. Dustin and Miller, funny and relatable people, and it's hilarious to hear them chit-chat about the things going on in their lives. It's like catching up with your BFFs, but one just happens to be an actually funny comedian. One of my fave podcasts, and I get excited whenever it pops up in my feed. Thank you, Dope Suburban Mama. We thank you so much for this.
Thank you, yeah.
I have one internet comment I want to read to you. Okay?
All right.
Don't look at this on my screen while I read it to you.
All right.
Okay? This got from a joke that I posted.
Okay.
You are such a great freaking comedian. I saw you on tour in Tysons, Virginia, and you were absolutely incredible. You are the next biggest comedian because you always have fresh, relevant content, relatable to all sides, brings people together, and such a sharp mind and hilarious self-awareness. I can't wait to see you on tour again. I love the family podcast clips too. Amazing. You seriously need to be in the front of the line with the next set of huge stand-up comedians. Also, it's so refreshing that you don't need to be vulgar to be funny. All that said, I really hope you don't die from the experimental vax. Cheering you on.
I did not see that coming. I was like, I knew it was going to be good. I was like, wait for it. I was so positive. Wow. What are they going to say?
It might have been a joke.
Yeah.
There's an exclamation point. It might have been an emoji or two. That's so funny. It did make us laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Either way.
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't that so good?
It's fantastic.
Weekend recap. It's not a weekend recap. It was a week, baby.
Yeah, that's why we're just kind of reacquainting here.
Yeah, I blew my nose this morning, and Claire was like, "That sounds like a chainsaw." I was like, "When have you ever heard a chainsaw?" But
hilarious.
I was like a little stuffed up this morning, and I was like, "This is not sick. I know what this is.
Yeah,
this is road tired.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is.
Yeah,
this is last Tuesday." Melon, or 2 Tuesdays from now, if you're listening on the podcast, which you are, you and I got up, got our kids to school, went on a lovely walk around the waterfront area in downtown San Diego, and then I got on a plane.
It's forever ago.
And I flew to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and then I was in Hershey for 2 days, and that was I spent a month one night in Hershey, and that's what it felt like. We were there for so long. And Hershey is like, the people are great, and but like the theme park was closed because it's only open like seasonally.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so boring that we're like, what do you do? I guess we'll go to Starbucks again. You know, there's only so much to do because you have so much downtime in the day.
Yeah.
And so we did like the Hershey Museum tour, and you're like, all right. And then like, you got to go to Hershey World. And then you go to Hershey World and you're like, this is every Hershey World in Vegas and New York. Like, if you haven't been to one of those, I guess
you got to go to one.
You got to go to one, but that's my third. You know,
you have kids. We go to big cities.
Last time I was in this, I was in Times Square.
Right.
So this was fun to look at. And then I walked out and I was in Times Square. Yeah. So there was a few other things to do.
Like, oh, there's the Nintendo store.
But the thing, the Hershey store is Hershey's Times Square.
Yes.
It's all of it. Mm-hmm. So after the gig so we did gigs there Wednesday and Thursday, and then we drove to DC. And then even though we didn't do any shows in DC, we were in DC for 3 nights.
This is a big road hack for you guys.
Yeah. You
based yourself in a major city.
In a central city. It was.
Oh, there you go.
Because the routing was weird. I mean, it is a major city. And DC might be my favorite city. I love DC. I think it might have taken over SF. They're like, I love being in DC. I mean, I love San Francisco too. You know what? You don't have to bring one down to raise up the other. I love DC so much. And so we did
Twin
shows.
Cities.
What?
Twin cities. That you like.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I thought you thought the DC was the Twin Cities.
No.
Melissa, do you know what the Twin Cities is?
Listen, I was just trying to say something.
I know, but do you know what?
Please tell your story.
I would love to just know if you know this. You don't have to know both of them, but you do know what area is referred to as the Twin Cities because you have been there.
I think it's in Minnesota.
That's great. It's Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Because you've been to the St. Paul Cathedral. We went with your family. Remember?
No.
You don't remember?
I actually...
And we were there, and your dad said, like, this is on par with, like, Notre Dame. Like,
my dad loves cathedrals.
Yeah. And it was pretty incredible.
Man, I don't really remember.
It was a long time ago. It was for your brother's wedding, so it was 17 years ago.
18 years ago.
Ours is 18 years, so there's 17.
Literally...
Right?
It was
it'll be 18 years in January.
Yeah. I was like, what? When is it? Yep.
Yeah. And here I am trying to talk to you into going to Minneapolis with us in January because we have like 3 days there. And you're like, well, I've been to Minneapolis in January once, and it was a pretty terrible experience. That's a funny family story where we went to Minneapolis in January with your extended fam. This is an often told story. We get to the rental car and we can't open the doors because they are frozen shut.
Yeah.
And the one thing that, and this was me getting some points with the fam, the one thing that would open was the trunk.
Yeah.
And so we opened the trunk, and then I, a younger, limber, more version of myself, got in through the trunk and went and kicked the door open, and then we got on our way. So yeah, I don't blame you for being like, is there any other cities you're going to? Love Minneapolis though. So anyways, we were in DC, and then we did shows in Richmond and Baltimore because that's kind of like a central base on there. I don't even know how to do recap. I'm tired. It was so much. Every single day was performing and traveling. There was
so hard.
There was no day. No, excuse me. There was
Tuesday.
Wednesday was the only day that we didn't travel.
Yeah.
That was the only single day that we didn't travel. And then you were just
bored in Hershey.
Yeah. But every other day we flew or drove somewhere in addition to performing. And that is very, very tiring. Now, as I told her, I go, even the most grueling weeks of this, because this is very hard and multiple shows at night and you're at the venue for a long time and blah, 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 blah. I go, I'm not nearly as beat down as I was at 1 week at my day job. I go, the worst week here, I feel tired. I go, the worst week out here, I feel less tired than I did on good weeks at my last day job. And that was a great day job. I loved the rec center.
Yeah.
And it's because at the end of the day, it's still like fulfilling work. And it's not like, because you're like, well, I had to be at the venue for 7-8 hours. You go, oh, you mean a job? You had to be at your workplace for 7-8 hours? Now, that's not true because we're editing videos. I'm making content. You write before you get there. There's more to it.
You and Taylor are both writing new hours, which is fun.
Oh, gosh. And hers is like done already. I'm like, this is so frustrating. So frustrating.
Prolific.
But we do annoyingly. She talked about that a lot this weekend. Or we talked about it, how it's like, she goes, I hate when you have new stuff because I'm like, I have to have new stuff. I'm like, you have a whole new hour already. You don't even have you don't even have a place to put the new stuff.
Right.
It just keeps growing.
Amazing.
I'm like cobbling together 20-25 minutes of stuff that's not in the special and a couple new ideas. And she's like, you have so much new stuff. I'm like, don't you dare. As is the case. Fun. The people who always feel like they never have new stuff usually are the people that have the most new stuff. Just a little insider tip there. I want to talk about adult friends, and then I want to do a couple emails.
All right.
You spent some time. We don't need the names here. I'll name names because my people are public figures.
Yeah. Okay, so
Mel has a new relationship.
Oh, man.
No, I don't. I'm being nice about this. I'm not teasing you. I like this. It is hard to make adult friends.
It is.
We talked about this a little bit last week. You have to put yourself out there. As hard as it is to make adult friends, that shows how much harder the longer you're single. I understand how it would be harder to find someone because you're more, I am who I am. And if you're not what I need or what I want, I don't need you. But you do need friendships and you do need new friendships because sometimes people move or old friends or stuff like that. And Mel's got a new one that she's been working on. She did a coffee with.
I did. Yep. We did a walk and a coffee, and I need to think for a sec. I can't summarize it.
My
brain is swirling.
Well, I want to hear about, because you said some very nice things about how like you feel like you have a lot in common with this person and you're pursuing the relationship, and I think it's great. But how are you feeling good about? Are you pensive? Because you require a lot out of a friend. It's hard for you to connect with people because you're so deep and so intense.
I know.
You know.
Yep.
The way you're feeling is what I'm talking. You're swirling at even the idea of talking about a new friendship.
I think in the last year, like our kids have had more needs, and that makes it hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. It makes it hard to find new friends, you mean?
Yeah.
Because you're worried that they won't understand, or that are you fearful of their judgment?
You have to decide what level of understanding you need from another human. Yeah.
You could put those tears in a munchie mug if you want.
Sorry.
No, I understand that. Well, I think that's my tendency all my shallow relationships are totally protective mechanism, right? Because they can't hurt you if you don't let them in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you don't want to, it's like people say this with like cancer or like an illness. They're like, 1, I don't want to talk about it all the time. 2, I don't want to give you all updates like every week. That's, like that's a lot of work to say it over and over again. But then they're also like, but I want you to ask about it,
Right.
And so that's what it feels like.
Right.
Is I want to talk about supporting my kids, but I also need to be nice and reciprocate,
Right, because that's a person that has their stuff as well.
So I can't dominate the conversation, but then I also, it's a time and an energy thing too. Not having the time or energy to like reciprocate or,
right.
And that's tricky with friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't.
No. I like this. This is good. No, I think you're articulating something that a lot of people feel.
Yeah, it happens. You have hard things, and then you're like, oh wait, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, well, and when you have something, that is, our various struggles, they aren't all consuming, but they're quite consuming.
Yeah,
and it's well put the way you said it. Of you're like, I don't want to dominate this conversation on this, but I do need to talk about it. You walk that fine line of I want to be felt and I want to be understood and I want to be able to share this with somebody without judgment. But I also don't want to be a burden to you.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't share with people.
I'm already hurt and then I rehash the hurt. And then
you're hurt from like old relationships where it didn't.
Just like hurt in general. And then I'm like, I don't want to get hurt again. Because I don't. I like have to tell people what's going on.
Right.
And then I get hurt with the response.
I was going to say, that's where the hurt is from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it doesn't stop you from telling them.
No. I've grown a little bit better. A little bit. I overshare constantly, but I'd like to say my filter has gotten slightly better.
Right.
But I know that to manage like hard things as like a caregiver, you have to talk about it, like with others.
Right.
Or else you carry it all and that's not healthy for you or the child. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what you've probably seen in, is as soon as you start sharing that stuff is usually there's someone on the receiving end that is carrying something heavy too.
100%. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
No, actually,
that was a sweet moment. I'm happy for you. I know that good, healthy relationships, friendships are hard to find. And I know because of hurt there in the past, you're hesitant to do that, to put yourself out there in that way. So it's not that I'm just happy. I'm very proud of you. I'm not proud of you. I'm impressed by you because I don't have that skill. To open up? To open up.
Yeah.
We did a couples counseling thing this last week. We're doing that in the show right now where Tay's like, and one of the couples was like, it's a part of the show that we do. One of the couples was like, she was like, well, I don't have big feelings and I barely feel anything and he feels constantly. And I said to the woman, oh, so you're right. And he needs to quit being a little baby, which is, obviously got to laugh and people understand exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There. It's, proud is not the right word because I don't ever feel comfortable saying I'm proud of you, but I'm impressed. That's really impressive. And honorable. And, I'm glad that you model that to our kids as well, because I think that's like, showing kids how to make healthy friends is everything.
And it's so hard to do. And you can't teach it. You have to, that's the hard part. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's end there.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys so much.
All right. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. Wanted to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up level patrons. Thank you so much for your support of the podcast and Dustin Nickerson comedy. That is Trey Turner, Nathan and Jennifer Merritt, Adam Bush, Jennifer Ashley Downs, Juliana Smith, Jordan Cowan, Code to Grow, Courtney Eibling, Lori Amos, Dave and Melissa Cox, Isaac Terron, Farrah Journey, Bonnie Galindo, Carrie Teague, Averill Griffiths, Jessica Sewell, Rachel Kennedy, Dave Hoagland, Demarius Diaz-Stevens, Nicole Carraz, and Tiffany Payne. Thank you so much, everybody.